Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The DTC B1231 in the Honda Accord models from 2008 to 2012 indicates an open circuit in the evaporator temperature sensor. The evaporator temperature sensor plays a crucial role in the vehicle's climate control system by monitoring the temperature of the evaporator to ensure proper cabin cooling. The location of this sensor is typically near the evaporator core within the dash assembly, making it vital for efficient air conditioning performance. A malfunction in its circuit can lead to ineffective cooling from the AC system and may trigger the G and auto indicator lights on the dashboard. Diagnosing an open circuit requires some systematic steps, as you'll need specialized tools like the Honda Diagnostic System HDS for proper fault detection. Let's delve deeper into the details to effectively troubleshoot this issue. The evaporator temperature sensor circuit is critical in maintaining optimal interior climate control within the Honda Accord from 2008 to 2012. This system involves components like the climate control unit, which interfaces with the evaporator temperature sensor to assess the cabin temperature. The sensor itself is responsible for detecting the temperature of the refrigerant within the evaporator core, helping the system to regulate cooling. When the DTC B1231 triggers, this indicates that there is an open circuit affecting the sensor's functionality, hence the climate control system's inability to determine accurate temperatures. This malfunction is typically located near the evaporator core, making access a bit challenging as the dashboard may need to be partially disassembled. Identifying the specific components and understanding their functionalities is essential for successful troubleshooting. Several potential causes could lead to the occurrence of DTC B1231 in a Honda Accord from 2008 to 2012. Firstly, an open circuit condition is highly likely, where the electrical pathway between the climate control unit and the evaporator temperature sensor is interrupted. This disconnect in the circuit could stem from worn-out wires or damaged connections, leading to reliability issues. Another cause may be poor connections or loose wiring, which can occur over time due to vibration or wear and tear. Furthermore, it's also possible for the evaporator temperature sensor itself to be faulty, which would prevent it from sending accurate temperature readings to the climate control system. Each of these causes needs to be systematically addressed to restore proper functionality. Symptoms accompanying DTC B1231 typically revolve around the vehicle's climate control performance. Owners might observe that the air conditioning system is not cooling effectively, which is due to the failed temperature monitoring that the evaporator sensor provides. Additionally, the G and auto indicators on the dashboard may illuminate, alerting drivers to a malfunction in the system. There may also be unexpected temperature fluctuations inside the cabin, as the system can no longer properly adjust based on the temperature readings from the sensor. These symptoms can lead to user discomfort and indicate a significant malfunction that must be addressed promptly. The first step in troubleshooting DTC B1231 involves clearing the Diagnostic Trouble Code, DTC, using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. Clearing the DTC allows the technician to reset the system, providing a blank slate for further diagnosis. After clearing, it's essential to turn the ignition switch to the lock position, and then back to on, II, to ensure the vehicle's electrical systems are properly initialized. This step is crucial because it prepares the climate control system to undergo a self-diagnostic function used in the following steps. Remember, without properly resetting the system, any subsequent steps may yield misleading results that do not reflect the current state of the vehicle systems, thereby complicating the troubleshooting process. In the second troubleshooting step, Execute the self-diagnostic function using the Honda Diagnostic System HDS or through the vehicle's climate control unit. This function assesses the condition of various components in the climate control system to identify any existing faults. Following this diagnostic, you must check for any new DTCs. If DTC B1231 or the G and auto indicators reappear, it is a clear signal that there are persistent problems requiring further investigation, indicating either a continuous issue with wiring, connectors, or the sensor itself. Confirming the appearance of DTCs is essential to ensure thorough troubleshooting subsequently. After performing the self-diagnostic function and checking for new DTCs, the next step is to determine if DTC B1231 or the G and auto indicators are present. If the DTC is indicated, proceed to the next troubleshooting steps focused on diagnosing the specific issue. Conversely, if no DTC is indicated, this may suggest an intermittent failure. In such cases, it is imperative to check for loose wires or poor connections on the evaporator temperature sensor circuit. Intermittent failures can often be elusive and may not present a consistent fault, making it crucial to inspect the integrity of electrical connections thoroughly. In this fourth troubleshooting step, turn the ignition switch to the lock position to ensure safe handling before accessing the vehicle's electrical components. After turning the ignition off, proceed to disconnect the climate control unit, specifically focusing on connectors A, 28P, and B, 12P. This disconnection is vital as it prepares the vehicle for continuity testing, helping to determine if there is a fault within the wiring from the climate control unit to the evaporator temperature sensor. It is essential to proceed carefully, handling the connectors gently to avoid damaging any pins or terminals, as integrity at this stage is crucial for accurate testing. Now it is time to check for continuity between climate control unit connector A, 28P, terminal number 23, and the evaporator temperature sensor 2P, connector terminal number 2. This testing checks the electrical pathway for any interruptions that might indicate an open circuit. A multimeter is typically used for this continuity test, and if continuity is confirmed, the system is functioning correctly up to that point. However, if there is no continuity, it suggests an open in the wiring between the climate control unit and the evaporator sensor, indicating that repairs are required to restore proper connections. In this sixth step, continuation of the continuity checks is crucial for diagnosing the DTC B1231 issue. Assess continuity between climate control unit connector B, 12P, terminal number 10, and evaporator temperature sensor 2P connector, terminal number 1. This additional assessment is aimed at confirming the integrity of the wiring, from the climate control unit to the evaporator temperature sensor. The use of a multimeter is again recommended, as it will provide precise readings. A lack of continuity in this test would similarly suggest an open circuit, necessitating repairs in the wiring to restore full functionality of the climate control system. The final troubleshooting step involves the removal of the evaporator temperature sensor for testing. After safely detaching it from its connection, you should conduct a comprehensive test of the sensor to ensure it operates as intended. Testing typically involves checking the resistance of the sensor at connected points to ascertain that it responds accurately to various temperature conditions. Anomalies in the sensor readings can confirm that the sensor itself is defective and requires replacement. Restoring proper functionality means verifying the sensor's behavior before reinstalling. If faults are confirmed here, replacing the sensor is necessary to prevent future failures. Once the necessary repairs have been made, it's time for final verification to ensure everything has been successfully addressed. Start by reassembling all components that were disassembled during the troubleshooting process. After reassembling, you need to check for any remaining DTCs using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to confirm that the repair was successful and that the system operates correctly without errors. Following the DTC check, it is critical to assess the air conditioning performance to confirm that the cabin cooling is restored to normal. This last verification step ensures the vehicle is back to optimal functioning and all earlier diagnostic trouble codes have been effectively resolved. Preventive maintenance is vital for the longevity and functionality of the evaporator temperature sensor circuit to avoid future issues similar to DTC B1231. Regular inspections of the electrical connectors and wiring associated with the climate control system can help detect any signs of wear or damage before they lead to malfunctions. Ensuring that connectors are secured properly is equally important, as loose connections can lead to intermittent failures that are difficult to diagnose. Additionally, conducting periodic tests of the climate control system, especially before peak seasons, can help maintain performance levels and identify any issues early on. These preventive checks can save time and money in the long run by addressing issues before they become more significant. In summary, DTC B1231 indicates an open circuit in the evaporator temperature sensor circuit, which can significantly impact your vehicle's air conditioning performance. By understanding the symptoms and potential causes, such as poor connections or a faulty sensor, you can effectively troubleshoot the issue. Following the outlined troubleshooting steps methodically will help narrow down the source of the problem, whether it's in the wiring or the sensor itself. Finally, ensuring that the AC functions properly post-repair is crucial for maintaining comfort during driving. Emphasizing preventive maintenance can greatly reduce the likelihood of similar issues arising in the future. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.